Yeah,
Obviously,
I
getting
saw the
cut is
list. I
never
got it
fun.
ready.
It
I was
means
just
uprooting
setting
your
that up right
entire
now.
life, and
So,
in some cases, means that the dream
all
you've
right,
been
bro.
reaching for your entire life is over. You'll never play professional football again. You'll need to figure out something else to do. For
Oh
99% of
yeah, no, I
players,
got you.
unless you retire on your own terms with the same team,
I got you.
that's
I
what
got you.
happens. And it
All right.
stinks, but it's the heartbreaking reality of the situation. As the team cuts you, what do? Do you A, thank the team for their time, B, try and convince the coach and general manager that they're making a mistake, C, sit in silence the whole time trying to just soak everything in, or D, refuse to leave until the police have to come and get involved? If you chose D, you're psychotic. You're absolutely insane. Getting the police involved in a roster cut is absolutely ridiculous and seems like a last resort option that shouldn't ever have to happen. However, as crazy and as absurd as that entire situation sounds, believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. In 1982, the Atlanta Falcons cut defensive end Greg Fields, expecting it to be a pretty routine cut that happens for tons of players during training camp. What they got was anything but that. And the craziest part is that, as we'll soon find out, what Fields did when exiting the Falcons wasn't even the craziest way he got released from a team. Far from it. This is the story of Greg Fields and the craziest roster cut in NFL history. Before I talk about the actual incident, as well as the even crazier incident that followed a few years later, which sounds insane that something actually topped the Falcons incident, we need some context to understand just who Greg Fields is and why he got cut in the first place. Our story begins in 1978, when Fields was a defensive lineman coming out of Grambling State. The good news for Fields is that there were 3 players that were drafted that year out of Grambling, including quarterback Doug Williams, who went in the first round. The bad news was that Fields was not one of them. He went undrafted in the 334-player draft and signed with the Detroit Lions, hoping to stick on their roster. That did not happen, as Fields would not play a regular season game in Detroit. However, in 1979, he saw an opportunity with the Baltimore Colts. The Colts did not have a great defensive line the year before, as the team only finished with 30 sacks, which ranked inside the bottom third of the league. They didn't have a premier pass rusher, as John Dudden led the team with just 6 sacks. Only 2 players on the Colts in 1978 even had more than 3 sacks. It was a weak unit, all things considered, and Fields was able to work his way onto the team, and at one point, even worked his way into the starting lineup. Fields had 4 sacks as a rookie, which was the second most on the team, and by 1980, he was the team's opening day starter at the right side defensive end position. Having said all that, there's a reason that you're not seeing a whole lot of highlights of Fields so far, and a lot of the clips you're seeing are of him just standing there. That's because, well, there isn't a whole lot to show. He only had 3 sacks in 1980. He wasn't great in run support, and in all the games that I watched of his to start off that 1980 campaign, he would make one play a game and then just completely disappear. If you want a modern day comparison to who he reminds me of, think Andre Branch. And after 2 seasons in Baltimore, it was clear that his time with the team was running out. He would have to go somewhere else to continue his NFL career.
What they do. I hope everybody's having a great night. This is kind of like a last minute lottery draft. So I just wanted to give you the heads up. This is the first year of the Finkle and Einhorn Dynasty League. It's going to be our first year, so we're going to get started with the lottery. The draft lottery will determine the positions for every single player in this league. So good luck to everyone. I'm just going to go ahead and call out a couple of the players that we have on the team. We have a lot of Breezy Beatdown players coming. We got the Pez. My team name for this is going to be Papa Tony. We got Thomas the Trainer, El Tolete, Waddles Rain. He's playing in both the Breezy League and he's also playing in the Finkle and Einhorn. I've always had a problem with that league. We got the Universals, Johnny Lowe 305, 10-time champ. I don't know where he got that name from because this is the first year of this league, so he's definitely not a champ in this league. Probably won't be either with a name like that. We got Glows, Taco Shop, Cater, Raverga, and Stealer Virginity. Now, while I'm calling these names out, there's a couple of names here in particular. I believe it's Johnny Lowe 305. He wanted me to start this draft with a prayer. So, let's go ahead and bow our heads and have a quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to play fantasy football in peace. Amen. All right, that was for Mr. Lowe because I know prayer is very important to him. Johnny Lowe 305. I mean, the Pez is also pretty religious as well. So, I don't know what to do with that. So it's a miracle that our league is not called, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Super Christians or something. But that's all good. That's all good. We are here today for the Wheel of Names. Now, the way I do it is backwards. Okay, so when it comes to the Wheel of Names, I like to draft, or I like to do the Wheel of Names from the bottom of the draft up. So the first player that gets selected in the lottery is the 12th pick, and then the last player standing gets the first overall pick in the draft. All right, this is a first time Breezy Beatdown mix with a couple other players. First year Dynasty League. All right, so in the Dynasty fantasy football, those rookies, taking a risk on rookies within the draft can usually make or break you for years to come. All right, so all right, we're gonna go ahead and do the 12th pick. We're gonna start off in the 12th pick. Bear with me, guys. This was a last minute setup because our dictator, aka Commissioner the Pez, wanted me to do this last second. And just a couple of updates. I am now a high school teacher at a local private school. I just put my first week in, had a great time. I got a good group of kids. But I'm going to tell you, them kids are in for it. If you know me, there's no bullies in the class other than me. I'll tell you that much. We got Gabriel Velez online in the house. Thank you, sir, for your service. And the wheel is going to come up right now. Let's go ahead and start this. Present. We don't want slides. We are going to share screen. And we are share screening the Wheel of Names, boys. Here we go. This is how it looks. Now, just to make sure that this is as legit as possible, we're going to shuffle the names around. I did it a whole bunch of times, so I don't want whining, crying, or complaining from any of you guys, especially the commissioner. Ese tipo llora con cojones. I'm sorry. Que señor reprenda. My bad. All right. So for the 12th, at the 12th slot, and the very first year of Finkle and Einhorn's league, that will go to. This is for the 12th spot in the draft. Some random dude called Cater La Verga. Congratulations to Cater La Verga, who is drafting at the 12th spot. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add that to the post, or I'm going to post it to the comments. So Cater La Verga is the 12th overall pick. All right, let's go ahead and go with the 11th pick. With the 11th pick in the Finkle Dynasty League, the guy named 10-time champ. And he obviously self-identifies as a 10-time champ because this is the first season of the league. So 11th pick goes to 10-time champ. With the 9th pick, so we got 12, 11, 10. With the 10th pick, sorry, that's my Democrat math. With the 10th pick in the draft, that's going to go with one of the OGs of fantasy, Steeler Virginity, my dog, Steeler Virginity, with the 10th pick. We're putting it in the chat because our commissioner, Jose Lopez, is a little bit special. And, he's a special needs student and he needs a little bit of help. And that's what we're doing here. Just putting it down, making it easy for him. Okay. My boy Lopez is a little special needs, but we got it. Let's go ahead and move on to the 9th pick. Waddle's Reign. In case you guys didn't know, Waddle's Reign is my little brother. He considers himself a fantasy guru. Jose Lopez says 10-time champ plays golf with a clicker. That's funny. So Waddle's Reign, 9th pick. Waddle's Reign is my little brother, but also the Pez's arch nemesis. He called out the Pez at the beginning of last season in our Breezy Beatdown League, letting him know that there is no way in hell. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm able to say hell, but just in case. Letting them know that there's no way that he was going to make the playoffs. And sure enough, the Pez did not make the playoffs in last season's fantasy football. All right, so we're going to the 8th pick now. With the 8th pick, the Pez. And that's great because we were talking a little smack about the Pez. I know he's hated down there in the Kendall area by the Navarro brothers, but he has a lot of love for me up here in Central Florida. The guy calls me at like 2, 3 in the morning sometimes, and we just talk about life sometimes because we both got some insane 3-year-olds that have flipped our lives upside down. But we love them boys. All right, 8th pick goes to the Pez. And Jose, if you are watching and you are chatting, all of these players that I don't know, if you want to add like some fun facts about them, right? So, like for example, we got Cater Raverga. If you could tell us who that is with the weird name. You already said something about 10-time champs. We all know who Steeler Virginity is in Waddle's Reign, but you could rag on them all you want. I'm cool with that. So the Pez gets the 8th pick in the Finkle fantasy Dynasty draft. We're gonna go ahead and move to the next person. Taco Shop. Oh, what did I do? Go ahead and remove Taco Shop from the list. Had a little hiccup there. That's all good. But Taco Shop, we're going to remove him. So with the 7th pick, Taco Shop. It's my boy, too, right there. Straight from Guadalajara, Mexico. Taco Shop with the 7th pick. I don't know why I like to say Guadalajara. He's really probably from like Tijuana or something. All right. We are at the 6th pick. With the 6th pick, hallelujah. We have Johnny Lowe 305. Has the 6th pick. And apparently Edura Berga was born in room 40, according to Jose Lopez. I don't know what that means. So if you could tell me what that means in the chat, that would be much appreciated. But we have, we have Johnny Lowe 305. I've got a little bit of, rundown from about him. So Johnny Lowe is Jose Lopez's brother. and Johnny Lowe shaves his head with a palm shaver. That makes sense. I also heard that he only eats at Chick-fil-A, because that's the Lord's chicken. He doesn't do, he doesn't eat at McDonald's or Wendy's or anything like that, because esos lugares son del diablo. So he only eats Chick-fil-A or he eats at home. Rule 40's nuts. All right. Uh, that's great. That's great. All right. So we got seventh pick taco shop. We're gonna hit the. You always get me with those, bro. It's crazy. We're gonna go with a sixth pick. With the sixth pick, Glows. Um, with a name like that, I'm only guessing that that's our first female fantasy football player that we have on the league. Glows. So Glows. I don't know who Glows is, but it sounds, that's something like my 8-year-old daughter would definitely call her fantasy football team. Glows. So we have Glows with the sixth pick in our dynasty draft. Let's go move on to the fifth pick. There's only 5 of us left. Universals. My boy Thomas the trainer, myself, and El Tolete. So with the fifth pick in the fantasy draft, we have Thomas the trainer. The fifth pick in fantasy is very, very good. We have oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. So Thomas the trainer is the fourth pick and Glows is the fifth pick. Yeah, Glows is 5. You're absolutely right. And Thomas is 4. I'm glad Jose Lopez has graduated to AP classes from ESE. So I'm really proud of this guy, man. He's made a lot of improvement. We got the top 3 still in the running for the top pick. Myself, Papa Tony, Universals, and El Tolete. So with the third pick in the fantasy football draft, it will be myself, Papa Tony. Yeah, but it's also past my bedtime. So he goes, "Aren't you a high school teacher? Can't even count." But it's also 9:46. I'm usually in bed by 9:50, my 9:30. I'm old now, man. You should know this. You've been here the entire summer. I've been going to bed. I go to bed early every day. But Jose got me at like 9:46 to win a fantasy football draft lottery. So I get the third overall pick. I like that position. Third is great. It's less risky than the first and second picks. I'll tell you that much. Top 2. So this is how we work it. We got El Tolete and Universals. Okay, so whoever gets selected gets the second overall pick, and then the remaining player obviously is the first overall pick in year 1 of the Finkle Dynasty League. So exciting stuff. So with the second pick in the first year of the Finkle fantasy draft, we got Universals, and that makes El Tolete the first overall pick. Its second pick, Universals, yeah, and then that leaves El Tolete with the number 1 overall pick. Go ahead and add that to the chat as proof. So El Tolete has the number 1 overall pick in the very first year of the Finkle and Einhorn Dynasty League draft. So good luck, boys. I know a lot of you will be buying magazines and subscribing to fantasy football subscriptions and all that. I know that Gabriel Velez does that. He subscribes to all those things. And you know, Gabriel Velez, this is his third. He does a lot of free fantasy football leagues, and this year he's in 3 paid leagues. And this little boy got a job at McDonald's, and he's using these McDonald's paychecks, 2 weeks worth of work at McDonald's to join one, a fantasy football league. He's joined 3, so that's about 6 weeks of work at McDonald's for him to be able to play all this fantasy football. So I'm very proud of him, Gabriel Velez. That's how you invest your money in fantasy football, and you might win one of these leagues. So we'll see what happens. I want to say thank you to Jose Lopez from running he runs a very, very good Breezy Beatdown league. We got a dynasty going on there too. So I have no doubt that this third league will be run very, very well as well. With Jose Lopez, I don't like to give him too much compliments. His head gets really, really, really big. And then he starts calling me a lot just so that he can get even more compliments. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned. Every single week we'll do like a weekly update. On Tuesdays, I'm thinking Tuesday nights will be a good time for a weekly update because all the games and all the points will be in, and that also gives us some adjustment time. You know, when they do the adjustment points for those really close calls. Thank you very much for watching. This will be the channel. It will be Papa Tony Gaming. YouTube channel is where we're going to be live streaming a lot of the updates, fantasy football updates for both the Breezy Beatdown League and the Finkle and Einhorn Dynasty League and the Breezy Beatdown Dynasty as well. Jose, if you could put in the chat, I heard that the Navarro brothers they kind of quit last minute. Can you give me maybe an inside scoop, or actually put it in the comments below after this gets posted onto YouTube as to why the Navarro brothers left the league? I really would like to know. Mario tends to be a little fickle, a little soft. It's kind of a little bit of a snowflake. But his brother Navarro doesn't strike. His brother doesn't really strike me as such. So I would like to know why they quit the league. Anyways, I love them boys too, man. Peace out, everybody. Thank you for watching.